You're listening to the Sacred Mama Podcast. I'm your host, Kara Ray, aka the Sacred Mama. I'm a mindset and relationship coach, helping mothers nurture the relationship between themselves, their spouse, and their children. This is also sometimes inside of a co-parenting relationship. This podcast was designed specifically for mothers, stepmothers, and soon-to-be mothers to come together and truly support one another, to have the real, raw, honest, unfiltered, and soulful conversations about the realities of motherhood. My goal is for mothers to reclaim their self-worth and reclaim their self-identity while navigating motherhood. It's time you treated yourself as a priority because most of all, you matter. I believe that you can have the thriving family life. I believe that you can have the booming business. And I believe that you can have the passionate and abundant relationship. Most of all, I believe you can fully love yourself in the now without sacrifice. Throughout this podcast, you'll gain access to the minds of industry leaders and of course, solo episodes by yours truly. So let's dive in. Okay. Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm super excited to welcome Tatiana Amico today to day 3 of the summit. We are already on day 3. Holy moly. Okay. So for those of you that don't know Tatiana yet, she wow. I'm struggling with my words today. Specializes, there we go, in helping women create offers that sell and stand out in the online space. So hello, Tatiana. How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm so good. And super excited for this conversation, you guys, because Tatiana also, helps women see their potential, take action, and create like massive freaking results. So we are going to have a beautiful conversation today that is all geared around self-responsibility. And so are you frozen? Are you good?
You were for a second. You're all
Am
good.
I frozen? Anybody?
You're good.
Good. Okay. Sounds good. You froze there for a second. It was like you sipping your drink. I'm like, are you there? And so anyways, guys, so at the beginning of the summit, I asked all of the experts this one question about what this summit means to you specifically.
Yes. So, and I had shared this with you earlier, is that it's something that I had always wanted to put out there. Like your message, what you have really been saying is something that I really wanted to put out there, but I would hold myself back. And interestingly, I just did a live in my Facebook group about imposter syndrome and just like being afraid to really say what you want to say and stuff like that. And I held myself back from really going there. So you doing this and then inviting me to be a part of this was just like, holy crap, this is exactly what I'm here for, right? Like it's just very, very powerful. So that's what it means. It means for me is that I feel like, yay, I'm a part of this big, message that I've always had inside of my heart, but now it's being put out there in like this way bigger way that I could have ever imagined. So now as I think about this, I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. So I'm really all about everything that you say, right? Like mothers making themselves a priority, going after what it is that they want now, not waiting, taking care of ourselves, being real about it and making some freaking money. Doing something.
Yes. Hell yes. I'm sitting here like, yes, preach it. Yes, I'm here for it. And so I know there's a few people that are joining us. So hello, Kirsten. Hello, Brady. Hello, Lindsay. Hello, Deanna. Hello. If I've missed anybody, my apologies. Make sure you guys say hello in the comments. We want to interact with you. So if you guys end up having any questions for Tatiana today, do not hesitate to post them in the comments. If we miss them, we will ensure to go back and respond to you. So hello, Gina, you just popped on as well. And so because the whole topic of today has to do with, taking self-responsibility, I really want to ask you, what does having responsibility or taking responsibility for your actions actually mean to you?
Basically, simply put, it means you say you're going to do something and you do it. right? And you do it. And you now, to take it a little bit deeper, it's so perfect that I did my live video about all of this just before this. I love how the universe just like shows up for you. There's so much that will come up for us though, right? We say we want this, we say we're going to do this, and then all of a sudden, the doubt, the fear, all of these limiting thoughts start to come up. And for those that are not really self-aware in this area, like I've worked on myself a lot, so I can catch it very quickly. Now, in the past, what it looked like basically was excuses, right? In the past, that's what it looked like. But now I am self-aware enough to see what it really is. And it's just my brain doing what my brain is going to do to keep me safe. But I know well enough now, again, to check myself. So I decide what it is that I want. I know what it is that I want for my life. That's actually a big part of it as well, because so many are afraid to even say what it is that they want, or I don't know what I want. When you actually do know what you want, but there's a lot of conditioning going on, the limiting beliefs, the doubt, the shoulds, the expectations, all of that. So that's why it's a more in-depth answer than just say what you're going to do and do it, right? Because there's a lot that we need to be working on in order to make that happen. But just like really getting clear on what's holding you back from making it happen, but deciding to be the woman that is going to do it. So this is what I want. Who do I need to be? Like what this woman that like whatever it is that I'm wanting. So I'll just take my health as an example, because that's how everything started for me. Is I wanted to be a woman that never dieted, like that would just work out without thinking twice about it. Like that's who I was, because that's not who I used to be, right? Like I would go to the gym maybe once a month if I did that. But I made a decision one day after many F this moments, right? Or oh shit moments, as I call them. And I was like, okay, what does this woman do? How does she show up for herself? What does her life look like? And then I started acting as her right then and there. And if anything came up for me, I worked on it, right? And it still does. Like I was actually just saying, like, this happens to Oprah, right? Like she goes to decide to do something and it all comes in, but she knows how to work on it. So when we are able to do that, then we can be the woman that says she's going to do something and then does it, right? And then does it without perfection, without judgment, like without any of this other crap that can come up. She just does it.
I was just going to say, screw perfection.
Oh yeah.
Because it legit doesn't exist. So like, if there are moms that are striving for perfection, I'm just telling you that it's something that is never something that we can never accomplish. Like perfection is just crap. But the way I wanted to lead in with that is because, you know, we're talking about, you know, how your belief behind responsibility and how, like all the different facets of responsibility. And I really, you know, because we're talking to moms, because this is all about, you know, the rise of moms, you know, collectively together, you know, to the mom who is making the excuses, who is blaming circumstances and situations, what would you say to her right now? What would you say to her right now?
So our children, the only way for them to really, what do you want for your kids? Like, I know what I want for my children. I want them to be people that go after what they truly want in their lives. I want them to feel good. I want them to be happy. I want them to be healthy. Like, and again, mostly I want them to feel confident in themselves and knowing that they can go after everything that it is that they want in their lives. How can I tell them that if I am not doing it? It's like, how can I tell my kids to eat broccoli if I am not eating broccoli? Right? Like they have to see me doing it. That is why I love that my kids are like, Mommy, what are you doing? Do you have a call right now? And I get to be like, yes, I get to go help some women right now. Right? Yeah. Or Mommy, are you going to exercise? Are you exercising now? Yes, I am. Do you want to join me? They usually say no, but You know what I mean? Like, they
Yes.
see me doing it. They see me actually going after the things, doing the things. That is why. Like, that is it right there. That is it right there. If they don't see me prioritizing myself, if they don't see me like loving myself when I look in the mirror, right?
Yeah.
It's all of this combined. Like, I decided that that's who I was going to be, and I show that, and they see that.
Yeah.
That's the power. Like, that's the power.
Well, and I think a really important, topic to this conversation is about, our children are watching and seeing what we're doing, but also when we take responsibility for our actions and like we be real with our kids, like we get down to their level and we have those conversations about how, we're humans too, and we're bound to make mistakes, and that just because I'm an adult doesn't make them go away. I want to dive into that conversation about, having those conversations with our kids and including them in our life, and the fact that we're human and we're bound to make human mistakes, and there's human error and all these different things, is that, if we don't give ourselves the permission to forgive ourselves, how are our children then going to learn that themselves? And like, what's your take on this?
That's huge. I actually remember one time I yelled at my son. Like, I had a moment where I lost my shit,
Yep.
right? And I apologized to him. Like, I said, I'm sorry that I did that, right?
Yep.
Things like that, like owning that, this happened and I'm sorry. And maybe even, I don't remember exactly what I said, but maybe I explained a little bit more, and saying that I'm working on it, things like that. Like, I'm very honest, I do say that I'm working on my, myself and all of this, because I want them to know. I want them to know the power of really working on yourself. I joke often that my child will be the next Tony Robbins, because if you guys don't know who Tony Robbins is, like, definitely Google him. But,
Yes.
they didn't grow up listening to like kid music in the car. They grew up listening to personal development and Tony Robbins and like all the books that I was listening to in the car. And so they literally, again, they are involved in my own personal growth. Yeah.
Yes.
Which
and I love, so that is huge, because I've had conversations with, moms that I've worked with, or just women, and they ask like, how do you do it? How do you figure this out? How do you have these conversations with your kids? And I say, I just have these conversations with my kids. I just start, when I create boundaries, pardon me, in my business, and my kids, like, your kids are curious. Like, they want to know what you're doing. They want to be a part of like the things that you got going on in your life. Like, they live in like the center of their universe and you're a part of that. And so they want you to be a part of that and then be a part of yours. And so with my business, like, even for example, with this, like, my husband's with my 2-year-old. I even communicate with my 2-year-old that mommy's going to be back in like an hour and we're going to be able to sit and do some playing together. And she says, okay, mommy. Like, so she listens. She might not fully grasp what that means, but even with my older kids, my 2 older stepchildren, I always tell them, guys, I'm on this for an hour. I need this space. I need this time. I promise you, when I'm done, my computer's closed, my attention is yours. And I include them because now, like, sometimes they poke their little heads over and they're like, what are you actually doing? Like, I really am really curious about this. Or they watch. And like, that's huge, you guys. Your kids are constantly watching what you're doing. And even my stepdaughter, she said, wow, she's like, you help a lot of mommies. I'm like, yeah, I do help a lot of mommies. And she's like, why'd you start doing that? I said, because at one point in my life, I also needed help. Yep. I'm like, so they see this and they see the bigger picture when sometimes we don't. And, I'm trying to figure out where I was going with all of that, but I feel like that resonates with this.
Yeah. Yes.
And so, I want to chat with you just about like your personal experience with taking responsibility and taking action. Like, I know we've talked about how it can affect our family, but like, how has this impacted like your relationship as well? Like with your husband, how has this impacted just your life in general by taking responsibility and doing the things that you want to do without allowing your children to be an excuse?
Well, again, because I knew what I wanted for my life. Like, I knew how I wanted to feel. I knew what I wanted to look like. So you can actually take the different sections of your life, your relationship with your husband, your health, your relationship with others. Like, my relationship with my mom is something I've been working on, right? So just take, this is in my book for those of you that decide to get the download. Like, this is in there. But you're going to take all these sections of your life and really rate it and be honest with yourself without judgment, like with compassion, with forgiveness, because I have done some really not great things in my life, and I have forgiven myself. Yeah, I've forgiven myself. I know it has all happened for me. I would not be who I am had that not happened. Like, I know that now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, really rate yourself on that, and then decide, well, what do I want? Like, where do I want this to go? I know that I want my relationship with my husband to be one of passion and love and like booty smacking and, you know, all of this stuff, right? So then, okay, what do I need to do in order to make that happen? And then the ideas come, as long as we don't block it. You guys talked about receiving yesterday. So as long as we are really open to receiving and saying yes to what comes for us in the form of help or guidance or whatever, taking it and doing it, not shutting ourselves off from everything, even help from coaches.
Yes. Yes.
Right? If an opportunity shows up for you to get some help, to make it happen faster with less frustration, that will save you time, that will save you money in the long run, because coaching always helps in no matter what area to save you money, or to make you more money. And I always have to throw that in there because I know that that's a thing. For happiness, like, what is you being really truly happy and fulfilled? What does that look like for you, right? So saying yes to the things that are going to help you with that.
Well, I think it's down to also getting very, like you were talking about getting clear on what that looks like. And I think that's so important because, you know, I want to shift into the whole conversation about comparison, because I know that there are a lot of moms who really struggle with comparing themselves to, you know, every other person. And I've also done this before, but what I also know is that, you know, comparing your life or how you parent or what you do to anybody else is really just not doing you any good at all. And I really want to lean into like how comparison is truly like that thief of joy. Like, you cannot compare what you're doing, your beginning steps. Like, if you're just now realizing, holy shit, like, I didn't take responsibility for my actions, and every decision that I made has landed me to where I am today. This is huge. Like, if you've been blaming every other person or blaming your kids for why you didn't do what you did, remember that it actually is your responsibility and you have gotten yourself to this point. And so in regards to comparison, like when you're working with a mom or a woman who's struggling with comparison, and they keep thinking they should be further, they should be here, why aren't they doing this? Like, what would you tell her?
I feel this in my soul.
I know. I feel like this is a heavy loaded question too.
Like, I have chills and I'm going to hold myself back from crying because I have been through this so much. It happens for me. I always say for, because things are always happening for us. It happens for me quite often when it comes to my business. Did it happen with the whole, like, with being a mom and all of this? Yes. If you were to look at my son's first birthday party, you would know. Because I was like, I have to throw this like insane birthday party because that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But anyway, that's just a funny example. But so when it comes to comparison, I am very big on, if you gotta like put those blinders on and whatever that means like for you, right? If you're in a moment, or if you're in a place in your life where you literally cannot block it without not seeing it, then you have to do what you got to do. So for me, if I'm like launching my program or something in terms of with my business, and I'm seeing others doing something similar, because it's our reticular activating system that will like look for all the same things, I will unfollow, right? And it's to benefit me, and it benefits the other person. It benefits the other person because we don't want any yucky, gunky energy happening there.
Nope.
So that's something that I could say when it comes to like maybe social media, or even, with friends or whatever it might be. So really check yourself on where that comparison is coming from, right? Self-awareness is a big part about all of this. So let's become,
it's like the crucial step.
It's the biggest step, right? So where is this comparison coming from? Then owning where you are right now and knowing that the only place there is to go, as long as you decide to stop blaming others, to take responsibility, to go after what it is that you want, the only way there is getting you to where you're going, right? That's it. So I know that now, right? I know, and I trust, and I believe. Very, very important pieces to this are trusting in yourself and believing in yourself. Okay. That comes from time, but that is also going to come. Well, I mean, every day I'm working on it, but also whenever I take action, it's a step further. It's a step further. It's showing myself that I trust myself. It's showing myself that I believe in myself every single time I take a step forward. Right. And I know, I just know that it's leading me to where I'm going, and I'm always learning. I'm always growing. I don't believe in perfection. I don't believe in like failing.
Yep.
Because I always know that I'm learning and I'm growing through whatever it is that I'm going through. So I feel like I took that on like a way different path.
No, that's okay.
That's what I do, because it really does come up for me every time that I go to do something. That comes up for me. So it is something that I'm always working on, and it is, we do not, no comparison. I'm done with that shit.
Yes. And I want to touch on the belief part here, because yes, we're talking about how like you need to be aware of A, what you're telling yourself, B, what you're doing, like the actions that you're taking, how you're responding to other people. Like this is a very deep rooted topic. And so we can go on like in multiple different directions when it comes to this, but the awareness piece around like, holy, I do get to make a choice. I do get to make a different decision. I do have a voice, because your voice actually matters. Like you still get to have a life while also being a mom. Like mom does not keep you, like the definition of being a mom does not keep you stuck. You are the one that keeps yourself stuck. And so I want to talk about like how your strongest beliefs, and I say this over and over again, your strongest beliefs become your damn reality. Like they really, really do. And so what are some of the strongest beliefs that even when you didn't fully believe them yet, like that you had that then catapulted and ended up being like that impacted not only your life, but your business and your relationship? Like what were those beliefs that then turned into a reality?
Damn, girl.
I know. I feel like I'm like,
I think right now, one of the biggest ones for me is knowing that anything is possible. Yeah. Really, like I truly believe in my limitless potential and limitless possibility. And I mean, that's a powerful belief to have, because I have been brought up, and the majority of society, this is big, ladies, knowing that the majority of society is playing very, very small and is limiting themselves like crazy, like limiting themselves. So I have come up from living in scarcity, like a scarcity mindset, fear, doubt, all of that stuff, to now I feel it. Like I know that there's just so much possibility. There's so much potential. I can really do anything that I want, especially in 2020 with the technology that we have, right?
Oh, right.
I mean, it's crazy pants, right? You could get information in a millisecond. There are literally no excuses. So, I mean, you can make money on your phone. Like where we have come, it's mind boggling, right? So it's really, really cool. That is probably one of my biggest beliefs right now. Now there are tons of other beliefs that I have had to work. Like I have a lot of money beliefs that I had to work on. But that's probably like knowing that I can really do anything that it is that I want. Yeah. But knowing that, because there's a difference between saying it and I know it. That's and it's hard for me to even pinpoint anything, because I've done so much work on myself, like exponential growth. That I can I just get to a couple of the comments?
Yeah, I was just going to do that too. Yeah.
Okay, because Brady said, I need to constantly remind myself that Instagram and Facebook posts are the highlight reels of people's days. They don't have to go.
Yes.
So I want you to know that I am sharing everything. I share it all. I also want you to know this, that I truly believe that some people, like I did a post about this, my life really is amazing.
Yeah.
Do things happen? Yes, but I have now gotten myself to a point where it doesn't affect me like I used to. And it's just a really cool place to be. But I shared, I know this is not in comparison to certain things, but like I have a pimple. Like I had a very low day yesterday, or not yesterday, Monday. And I shared that on my Instagram. I literally said, you know what? Today is a day of growth for me. I call it growth. Because my lows, I know what that turns into. I know what's on the other side of that. So I was like, see you tomorrow, right? I'm growing today. I'll see you tomorrow. So yes, follow the people for sure that show what is also behind that highlight reel, right?
I was going to say, can we get really real for a moment?
Really quick though, I'm not even talking about like the shitty shit. I'm talking about them actually growing through it and what's on the other side of that. Like I want you guys to see that. I want you to see the power of working on yourself. She said I'm following the wrong people. So I want you to see Kara freaking shows it like a rock star. She does exactly what I'm saying. So follow those that show this is how you get out of it. I do go through lows. This is how I get out of it. I want you to see what's on the other side of this. Cause I don't want to sit here and like make you feel like poop, right? I don't want you. No, and I mean, what I mean by that is honestly, I unfollow people that are just constantly complaining and stuff because I have a vibe line and I won't go under that vibe line. So that's why when I show up and I share the poop, it's the other side of the poop.
I love this right now. I'm like loving this.
And then Deanna said, how do you motivate yourself out of the fear holding you back?
Before we dive into that one.
Yeah.
So because like this is important. So I just want to say, if we're going to be like super real, guys, like this is something that I value about being real, like with, women that I've worked with, but even like the women that I'm working with. And so just before this call, you guys, I was getting ready and I was good to go. Like obviously got my makeup, my hair did. I'm in freaking sweatpants right now because my son decided that 10 minutes before we were coming on here that he needed to eat now, even though he ate like 35 minutes ago. So I'm legit in my freaking sweatpants but look like business up top and party on the bottom here. So like, this is real life. I have Paw Patrol toys in the background. I have children's paintings. Like, I don't know how real you can get here, guys.
Dude, I'm totally wearing pajama pants right now. They're comfy.
Yes, you are.
Remember how I said that my daughter had taken off all the thank you notes? Well, the push pins are in my chair and I haven't it's been a couple weeks that they're still in my chair and I'll get poked in my butt, but I just haven't felt like removing the pins from the chair. So I just kind of like sit in a way that I'm not going to get poked. Like, yeah. I'm super sweaty right now. Like, let's be real.
Yes.
So totally. Okay. Do you want me to
go back to Deanna here?
Okay. Deanna.
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah, of course.
Deanna. I want you, when you get off of this, I want you to do what I said. And that is to just decide what it is that you want for your life. But not only that, like, what is it going to do? What is it going to do for you? But what is it going to do for others? So this is something that I have my clients do, is how is this going to benefit others? I'm very big on a ripple effect, And a ripple effect for the world. We have some stuff happening in the world, right? How can I create change in myself that will create change? And not looking at it like it's this big grandiose thing that I have to do. No, knowing that every time that you make a decision that betters you, that helps you grow, that helps you do what it is that you said that you were going to do, it helps others. So that fear, another thing is getting all of that out, getting out the fear. What is the fear? Where's that coming from? Right? I'm going to be having you do some deep stuff here, right? Like, where is that fear coming from? What is it? It's usually, what is so-and-so going to think about me? Like that kind of stuff coming up. It's all ego. It's all little girl stuff coming up. So this is the power of working with someone to help you do this. Side note. But really, this is powerful. So do that. Get really clear on what it is that you want, how it benefits you, how it benefits others. Get clear on what that fear is, where it's coming from, how you're going to flip that shit. I call it, I'm like, do I say flip it or shift that shit? I say shift that shit.
Yeah.
And then working through there. I hope that helps you. Let me know. Kirsten said, we have started holding a vibe line in our life too, not just our social media. Oh, dude.
Yeah, you did.
That vibe line. Oh, now I feel like I need to know more about this. You're like, yeah,
no, she has done so much in her life in like the last, like month or so. I'm like so blown away by this woman. Like, she has definitely placed a vibe line.
Nice.
Yes.
I love that. Props to you, girl.
And in regards to like fear, our mind is extremely powerful, you guys. Like, we have this automatic response that is inside of our body because at some point in our life, when a fear comes up, it's actually because we have told ourselves that we need to be conscious of that we need to worry about that one thing. And so it's like our memories come back anytime something comes up. It's like, oh, no, we went through something similar like this before. Hold the phone, stop it. And then your mind goes a million miles an hour. But recognizing that you placed that fear there a long time ago in the first place gives you that awareness piece of then taking control back and flipping that, like you just said. Like, it's like that pivotal moment where we ask ourselves, like, when did this start? When did this happen? You might not know or remember the exact point, but just knowing that fear is there because you put that there.
I mean, our brains I'm so grateful for my brain. And now that I understand more about it, I'm like, holy moly, it's an amazing thing. It's amazing, but it does. It's the primal, like our brain is primal, right? So it was always working to keep us safe. It didn't want us to get eaten by saber-toothed tigers. So it doesn't know the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and, I speak to a lot of business people, like, you doing a post on social media where somebody might say something mean to you. Like, it doesn't know the difference. So recognizing that is really, really big. I feel like I had something else to say and I completely forgot. Oh, also, like, gather evidence as to you. How have you overcome fears in your life? Like, gather the evidence. Since I'm talking to moms, you have birthed human beings. Like, holy shit, right? Yeah. I will always think about that. And I have an incredible birth story that I wrote about my last one, who I called my badass baby because she kicked my ass. But I did it. And I remember being so afraid. Like, I literally thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die. And first of all, I was like, I've done this twice before, right? I had to then surrender and I had to trust myself, know that my body was doing what my body is made to do. I had doulas. I had my incredible doctor. I had my husband. Like, I had the support. I had everything that I needed. And I do remember that pivotal moment where I surrendered and I get chills thinking about it. And I trusted. I have a picture of it because I had a birth photographer and she took a picture, right? And I remember that moment. And then she freaking came like so soon, right? I'm pretty sure I was in transition. She came soon after that, but I had to like really, really, really like lean into recognizing that fear and then going back to trusting myself, trusting my body, trusting the people that were there to help me. And then here we go.
Right? And I think that's such a beautiful thing to talk about is the fact that, when we birth humans into this world, when we step into that space, like, there is fear of the unknown. There is these big limiting beliefs on like, how am I going to do this? Am I capable of doing this? And when you look back at like when you first had, your little baby or, all these fears and these worries that came up, and now you look back at those things and they were so small. They were so small. Like at the time they meant so much. At the time they meant so much, and they felt like there was big emotions behind that. But then you look at yourself and the power of your body and what you're capable of doing. And then you question if you're capable of, greater success or other things, but you have the ability to create freaking life. Like it was within, like with the pregnancy of like my daughter, I was still really struggling with my own self-belief and my personal well-being and things like that, where with the birth of my son and the whole journey itself was drastically different, because when I didn't self-prioritize, when I didn't put myself as a priority, when I didn't take responsibility, I kept attracting in a bunch of crap. Like even the whole pregnancy, between gestational diabetes, gaining a bunch of weight, woe is me, poor is me, everything going wrong, to then this situation being drastically different, having support, not having diabetes, literally feeling that I was like in tune with my body and creative. And it was beautiful. Like it was an experience that I like that. Oh my goodness, I could go on forever about this, but I totally agree with what you're saying about, what we're capable of doing as women and just creating life and bringing life into this world. And if we ever doubt ourselves when we've done something like this before, it's just bring yourself back to that situation. Like, don't ever doubt what you're capable of doing.
Holy moly. It's like, yeah, I had been doing so much work on myself that birth was pivotal in my life, because it was like, oh my gosh, this all makes sense. And I was able to take that experience and just like recognize all the lessons in it. And then that made me realize how capable I am, how strong I am, what I can do, for sure. And then another part about all of this that I'm very big on is like setting the intention. So everything that you said to me, it seems like you set the intention of what you wanted for that birth or for your pregnancy. So then it is very true. So there's a woo side of this, and there is the brain side of it. Because when you decide what it is that you want, what your intention is, your brain will start looking for all the ways to make it happen, right? Yes. Your brain will literally look for all the ways to make it happen. So that is why, again, it's very important to be open to receiving the guidance and everything else that's coming for you, and noticing that it does that. Instead of, there's a lot of people out there who will be like, nah. It's like, no, I choose to believe in all of this cool stuff, because I want to be happy. And this makes me really happy to notice it, right? To notice how everything is really happening for me. Nothing is happening to me. It's all happening for me, even the crap, right? So cheers. It's very powerful.
And I really want to touch on that, especially, when we're talking about birthing humans into this world, but also perspective and, believing in what you choose to believe. Because not only when I birthed my daughter, I did not realize just a lot of the support that we did have at the time, or the things that were happening. And there's a lot of other things like underlying circumstances with mine that made me a little bit of a high risk pregnancy as well. But with my son, we birthed, my children were born in the same room. They were born in the same room, different times, different dates, different circumstances, but same place and same nurses, might I add. So, and also the number of our room was 333.
Stop
and
it.
I did not really, and I did not realize that at the beginning.
Right.
Until my husband, I didn't, until I have goosebumps even talking about it, because my husband, because of the work that I've been doing on myself, he has also been doing this work. And so he realized these things. He said, we're in the same room, Kara. Did you look at our room number? Our room number is 333. And we literally did a dance, and people looked at us like we were funny. And I'm like, no, man, do not kill on these vibes. I was like, this is my thing. I was like, I'm here for it. We had a birth photographer. We had her capture the moments that we weren't able to, fully be present. I wanted my husband to be present, and we were able to experience in such a different way and have the support and have the safety. And it just was a massively different event. And just even to know that we were in the same room with the same nurse, but two different circumstances, it just shows you you can try and try and try again, and then see success, and then see the things that you desire to do, but don't give up. Don't stop doing the thing, because you could be literally in the exact same spot 2 years from now and it'll happen for you.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Because it happened for me.
Holy crap. That's amazing.
Yeah, I have goosebumps, whole body goosebumps. You know when it moves up to your head? You're like, That's where I am right now.
And that's such a powerful example of what you had asked me too, like knowing where you can go.
Yeah.
Like knowing where you could go.
The possibilities are endless. But what it starts with is it starts with us taking, like, this whole conversation about taking that responsibility for our actions, for our decisions, for the words that we say, and also learning how to separate what other people are doing. Like, what other people are doing and what they say about you is that, and I'll say it over again, it's like, it's none of your freaking business. It's none of your business what somebody else is doing. The only business that matters is what you are doing and taking responsibility for that. Like, we can't control anybody else. The only person that you can control is you, by taking that responsibility and making a choice and making a decision that you are made for more and that you are meant for more. And so I feel like I just need to be like sitting here like like I want to is anything else you're listening, probably really lit up about this conversation by now, but also, that are just needing a little bit more, like, is there anything you'd love to tell them right now?
Okay, so the first thing, I definitely want you ladies to get really, really clear again on what it is that you want without allowing any of the shoulds or chatter or anyone else or expectations to come in. Like, that is going to be the number one thing that I ask you to do. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start making decisions based on that desire. And you'll notice it now, right? I've told you, so now you will know that every time something comes up and you got to decide this or this, you're going to decide to make the decision that's in alignment with what it is that you want, okay? This is going to be huge for you. Then I want you to celebrate yourself. Like, I always am like, shake your booty. Shake your booty. Like, shake your butt. I don't care if you're sitting down, shake it. Stand up, shake it. Like, shake your ass for real. Celebrate yourself every time that you, Deanna said, I need oomph. There's your oomph. Shake your butt right now. Shake it. The power of shaking your ass. There you go. That's all you needed today. Just know to shake your butt. But seriously, like, and every time that you make that decision that's in alignment with what you want, every time that you notice that you're overcoming a fear, you're recognizing a fear, whatever it might be for you, notice that, celebrate that, shake your butt, right? Really, for real. That is going to be powerful because you're, again, showing yourself of what it's 111 over here. I know it's not over there, but I just caught the 111 over here. So every time that you do that, you're like embedding it into yourself of what you're capable of. So where do you think that's going to show up? How do you think that's going to show up in your life in other areas? And then guess who else is going to see you doing that?
Right. And I love how we brought this back to, the big hierarchy, like not hierarchy, the big overarching topic of this was taking responsibility for our actions. And, underneath this is that then we get to make decisions based on where we want to go, and decisions because we know that we are capable of more, that we are deserving of more, and that we are capable of achieving it and doing it. And so I truly, even just having this conversation with you, Tatiana, I've had chills. I've had even myself, like those aha moments. And I just want to thank you very much for being here, for having this conversation, for talking to the moms directly, who are struggling with this, or who may not have realized that, they hold that power within themselves, and they have this entire time. It has always been there. And, just no more excuses, like no more excuses, because the excuses are what's keeping you stuck. The excuses are what's keeping you from not doing what you want to do. And please, please do not use your children as an excuse. Please.
Think of the shit that puts on them. That's not cool.
Nope.
That's not cool. That's not cool, Louise.
No. And no. And we also need to teach our kids that, like, it's like, don't use other people as an excuse for not doing what you want to do.
Right. And I'll catch my son in that, like, blaming others. I'm like, hello, we don't do that in this house.
Yeah, I do that with my stepson too.
You guys, I catch myself doing that. It's easy because it's easy because it's easy. Yeah, because
really,
it is, because blaming others for your own shit is easy.
Yes.
Right? When we got to do the work on ourselves to be like, oh no, this is all on me. Well, shit. Now I got some work to do. And then that's it. But again, I still catch myself, even with all the work I've done, but I catch myself. I catch myself and I flip it. And you know what? It feels really good to take responsibility, because then I know that I can move. I know, again, that I'm the powerful one. I am powerful. I am capable. I am the one that makes shit happen, right? It's me. Like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, right?
So because you left it with like a mic drop moment, this is the beautiful time to like wrap it all in. And for the women who are wanting to connect with you further, all the things, can you please let them know how to do that? And then please share that in the comments below when we're done here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Tatiana Amico everywhere. So on my Facebook page, Instagram, my site is not up right now, but whatever. Let's see, where else? If you are an entrepreneur, like, but you wanted, like, you're an entrepreneur, like you're doing big things, you want to make massive amounts of money and make big impact. I'm very big into that. I do have a Facebook community called Your Next Level Business Society with Tatiana Amico. Of course, I have my book that you are doing a giveaway. You guys can get a free copy of that as well, a free PDF copy. I believe that that is all.
If there's anything that ends up being missed, just put it in the comments. And you guys, make sure you take a look at, I sent you guys the freebies I'm like, today's when I sent them on Monday. I'm like, sent them Monday. So you can download the free PDF of her book, Contribute, in there. It is incredible. You guys, go click on it, please.
You will learn a lot about me in that book.
I'm
including one of my biggest reasons that I started my business, and it has to do with underwear.
There you go, guys. Now you're going to want to know. Now you're going to want to know. And so I want to say thank you again for being here. Thank you for, being a part of this event. Thank you. I appreciate you. I am so happy about this conversation. I know that this resonates with many. And so to everybody else, I will see you guys all tomorrow for day 4 of the Reclamation of Motherhood Summit. So thank you again.